Oh man, I'm so excited to flip the table on this guy who is such a great interviewer, does such a good job of putting a platform out there for Fierce Fighting Championship fighters. It is none other than my dear friend Dre Rawka. It is so good to have you here, man. How you been?
Hey man, I've been good. I'm excited to do the show. It's cool that you're like, let me flip the script on you, Dre. Let me put you in the hot seat now. So this is cool to be in this side.
Let me ask you, have you been interviewed like this in the past, or is this one of the first times you've been a guest on a podcast?
It's very rare. Like I don't know why everybody wants to come on my show, but nobody wants me on theirs. So for the most part, I mean, there's probably like five solid interviews out there where people have asked me questions.
I absolutely wanted to do this one because you do such a good job at it, and we'll dive into all of this as we go along. But you're also just such a big supporter. There is one person I can count on Wednesday afternoons to give me a text, whether it's a word of encouragement or something that they learned from this Damage Plan MMA podcast. It is you, the number one fan of it. So thank you so much for all your support of myself, Fierce Fighting Championship, everything that all the staff does. I know that it doesn't go unnoticed by you. So,
Yeah,
Dre,
absolutely, mate.
oh, go ahead.
The show is great. You do a great job. The guests that show up, they I want to learn about them too, right? So there's I don't get to interview everybody, so just to see their mindset before their fight and whatnot, gotta tune in.
So that's kind of where I wanted to start. This was the podcast. Obviously, you do more than just Fierce Fighting Championship. You bring on all sorts of local Utah talent, I would say is kind of I would say kind of the gist of your podcast. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
When did you start the podcast?
So the podcast has been around since 2013, in many different shapes and forms. I mean, and if you really look at like the interviewing content portion of like what I do, circa 2006. My first interview with an MMA fighter was my really good friend, coach now, Kofi Adzitsu out of Cache Valley MMA. That was the reason why I got into this whole MMA business. So I guess right now, this rendition of Unrestricted Podcast 2013, but my love for interviewing people probably around 2005, 2006.
How did you get in contact with Kofi?
We went to high school together, Conwood High School, and Kofi, he was on the West Side Mulberry Apartments, and we just had the same friends. And he was doing football, and I wanted to do football. So what better way to find friends than on the gridiron until the gridiron didn't work out in my favor. And I was like, let me just go get a microphone somewhere.
That is so interesting. So, do you really root for the Cache Valley fighters? I know you root for everybody based out of Utah, but do you really push for Kofi's guys?
Absolutely. Every time I see him fight, or have an athlete, a student from his gym fight, whether if it's a jiu-jitsu tournament or MMA fight, regardless on what it is, I'm always rooting for Kofi, his students, along with other gyms here in Utah. That whole motto of 801 versus everyone, like I truly believe in that. And that's why it's so hard for me when guys like Nasir Davis decide they want to come into the 801 and put it down, because I love Nasir, but I really truly believe in 801 versus everyone, inside the cage, outside the cage. Like I want people to win. I want you to win. I know that this is a stepping stone for Blake Arulian. I want him to go on and be on network television, nationwide, worldwide TV, worldwide streaming. I want that for you. So that's kind of where I of course I'm gonna root for Cache Valley MMA, but I also want to root for everybody that comes out of the 801.
I've felt that since day one from you, Dre, and it never has gone without me feeling a deep, deep appreciation for you and all that you do. And truly, your heart is just of gold. I'm just going to say that, and I'll get back into the questions, but truly, your support has always meant the world to me.
Thank you.
Were you always a naturally gifted interviewer? I mean, I think back 2006, 2013, up until now, fast forward 12 years that you've been doing this in sort of this formal setting. Were you always as good at it as you are right now? Because I feel like in interviewing, you kind of learn how to get better at it, but you've always seemed so natural at
I honestly I'm curious. I honestly don't even feel like I'm good. I feel like just like in the gym, if you want to become that black belt, you have to keep doing this, right? So that's kind of why I show up every day. That's why I keep on answering DMs to have people on the shows, because I want my reps. I want to get better at this thing, called speaking and talking. And I don't know if it was something that I have ever even noticed that I'm good at. I keep having people that show up, and I keep on being curious about individuals and their profession and what they have going on. And I feel like all the people that I loved growing up, and the reason why I got into radio and this field, it came from other people that were just curious and wanted to ask questions. And so that's why I'm still, I feel like I'm still growing in that area, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever put down.
Who got you into it?
2000, no, 1998, 99. I was living in Portland, Oregon, and there was a radio station called Jammin' 95.5 FM, and it was Portland's first hip hop radio station. And there was a show on the morning show. It was called PK's Playhouse. And a very well known radio host, Ebro, he's on Hot 97 in New York right now. He was on there, and PK and his Playhouse guys, it was like 5 different people on this radio show, and they pushed the limits. They were doing pranks, like real pranks. Radio pranks today, they're all scripted, right? So like back in the day, they were unfiltered. They were showing up to communities. They were the first ones to put up the camera inside the studio and have an internet show simultaneously with their radio show. And I was like, man, that looks like fun. That looks really cool. And so in grade school, when the teacher came around, I was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I put radio. I put that I wanted to be in radio because of PK's Playhouse. And then, of course, I got inspiration from The Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God, Howard Stern, Larry King. Just, man, pretty much any great interviewer like that really inspired me. Even down to like skate tapes. I used to love watching old skateboarding tapes, and they would have little interview segments within those skate tapes where they would sit down and do like a one shoot to the skater. And I was like, man, that's cool. Like I wish they should ask this question to that person and whatnot. So I guess there was a plethora of different people and different things culturally that really inspired me to want to interview people.
Did someone ever come and show you the ropes, or were you self-taught in just about everything that you do?
No, man. There was, I mean, what? Not directly. I think unconsciously, yeah, there was people that definitely showed me some stuff and helped me out with things, but nobody ever came to me and was like, "Hey, Dre, this is how you do it. This is what you should do. This is how you can line things up." Right? A matter of fact, people laughed at me when I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna interview people. I'm gonna post it online." Right? Because it's like, oh, you're just trying to be like the DJs on the radio. In some sense, yeah, of course I am. But we all have to start somewhere, right? If they're not going to give us an opportunity, we're going to go create our own opportunity. So if it's somebody right now, like right now, they get inspired by Blake and they want to be a play-by-play announcer. They might not have somebody that can give them that opportunity. We'll start calling them. Put the TV on mute and call your own matches, right? So that's kind of where I started. Is I'm gonna just do it myself. There was nobody that gave me any tips or tricks, partly because nobody was really in this field, right?
Sure.
Which is tough, or at least I didn't know anybody.
Did you learn from certain people? Was it watching the Howard Sterns and the Larry Kings and Charlemagne's and Ebros and all those different guys? Was it watching them that helped you learn it? Is that kind of, and I'm sorry for the redundancy on it, but is that kind of how you kind of figured out how to do it yourself, was just by watching primarily?
Yeah, absolutely. Watching and doing.
Yeah.
Right. I can't be a hermit. I can't just stay inside. Yeah. Even in high school, I was always talking to people. I mentioned Kofi. Kofi was my test subject. I have an interview with Kofi. We're in Valley Fair Mall. No, I'm sorry. We're in Fashion Place Mall cafeteria before they even redid the mall. And I'm asking him questions, but I absorb. I try. It's like a chameleon effect, right? Like I try to absorb what I'm around. So maybe it's the asking the tough questions like Larry King, but then also having fun like Charlemagne, or diving a little bit deeper like Barbara Walters, like, I don't know, just being curious, and don't be afraid to ask the questions that might make your subject or the person across from you uncomfortable. And that's where I feel like I'm truly, I feel like I'm blessed, is that the person across from me, even if I ask them a tough question, at least to this point, knock on wood, they haven't taken it offensively. They haven't been like, why would you ask me that or anything like that? Because the questions that I asked, other people, the viewer, is curious about that as well. You know,
Yeah.
whether if it's a fighter leaving a gym or you might notice something get heated between a corner during a fight. Like these are all things that are real life impactful moments that people will have questions about. And some people can ask them and some people can't, right? We all build relationships with the person, the subject across from us. It's kind of like Stephen A. I mean, Stephen A is another great example of somebody that I get inspiration from. Stephen A talks about his relationship with AI. You know, there's stories that AI will give him and things that he will never tell people. And that's kind of where I want to live. I want to live in the space where the person that's on my show feels comfortable enough to give me all the details. And if they don't want it out, I'm going to hold it.
You are a DJ, you create content, you do interviews, obviously your podcast. What's your favorite thing to do?
Ooh, the content creation of all of that, the process of learning how to be a better DJ, you know, the process of learning how to be a better interviewer and captivate the person watching. We're in the era, and I feel like we've always been in the era where attention spans are small and they're quick. So to be able to capture somebody's attention and hold it, that's the process that I genuinely love. So yeah, I think that overall, just the process through everything,
For you, what makes good content?
the thing that keeps people engaged,
Yeah.
right? The thing that makes somebody want to think, right, left, up, down, left, right, whatever it is. If you don't get them moving in any direction, whether if it's a thought or whatever, the content isn't there. But if you can create content that makes somebody think, oh, I agree with him, or nah, he's wrong, I need to say something. That's where it's at.
Kind of like we talked about at the top of the show, you are so passionate about Utah and pushing Utah anything forward. Why do you care so much about the Beehive State?
It's because it's my home. It's where I'm raising my family. It's where I was born. I have a lot of tragedy in the city. I have a lot of wins in the city. And when it's all I know, you want your win. I want people to see my city the way I see it. I want people to see my state the way I see it. And it's a beautiful place. We're not perfect. I mean, you just see what happened with Charlie, where we, for, you know, a good week or so, it's nothing but Utah in a bad light, right? And so I want people to understand that there is more to our city than just what the common misconceptions are of the city. And I think that we need people to root for us because nobody else is rooting for us. You know, you go on these national stages, you be in these big rooms with people. They don't ever mention Utah. They don't ever mention Salt Lake or Ogden or Provo. And if they do, they mention it for the wrong things, right? So it's very important for me to put that flag on all of our backs. I feel like, and that's why I went down to One Hit MMA and I gave Zach a Utah State flag. I said, you say 801 versus everyone or 801 versus everybody. You say it. I was like, we need to live that. Here's the flag, right? Put that on your back. Because no matter where you are in life, if you're from Utah, you have, in my opinion, you have the right to represent us, but you also have the obligation to represent us. As much as people don't really see it that way, that's how I see it. When I'm on this mic, when I'm on this camera, I'm representing not only Fierce Fighting Championship, I'm representing my family, I'm representing the bar or nightclub that I DJ at. I represent any brand that I'm tied to, and I want all of them to win. So that's why it's really important to me.
Would you say you feel like Utah is an underdog state? Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you felt like an underdog throughout the course of your career?
Absolutely, because my career has taken many twists and turns, and you know, you get loyal to sometimes the wrong people and the wrong things, and you learn your lesson. And for a long time, I did feel like I was in the back, un uh I feel like I was in the back and the trust wasn't given to me to be in the front, right? And so you just kind of have to, if you feel like the underdog, if you feel like you're the person that's not getting the looks, you have to show people. I always tell people that once you get the people, once you get the eyes, and once you get the buy-in from people, you can conquer the world. And that's kind of where we are as a state right now. It's like we need, and I'm gonna talk in the context of a combat sports, we need the guy or girl that's gonna put in the effort, put in the work to go and show them, them being the UFC or PFL or whoever it is, whatever the organization is, that we're here and we're ready. We have the talent. We have, as much as I'm good, we got 10 or 15 other people that are just as good or better than me, right?
So that's a perfect segue. We've been talking a lot about you and your career, and I love being able to pick your brain about that stuff. But you are so passionate about MMA. When beyond Kofi, because I know that was kind of your friend and kind of your gateway to the sport of MMA, when did you really start getting involved, going to shows, and being day in and day out an MMA fan?
Man, I don't remember the pivotal moment where it started happening, but I uh I was a part of a group of guys called dogemout.com. And what dogemout.com was is we had the first side by side video where you can vote on something. So we would throw up this rapper versus this rapper. They would rap and then the other person would rap, and you would be able to, vote on who you thought was better, right? So we were like, how can we use this technology here locally? Well, Ultimate Combat Experience is they have a show at Club Elevate downtown Salt Lake City every week at the bar. They would throw um, amateur fights inside the nightclub, and that's very close to hip hop, right? We got this person versus this person, same thing. So we wanted to use that technology inside the club, and so we would go to these fights and we would sponsor fighters, and we would just be involved where we could put fighter versus fighter. And we did that for a while. We got to meet Josh Berkman. My brother went to Snow College with Josh, and they played football together. And so when Berkman was heading out of Ultimate Fighter season, I think it was season 2 or season 1. It was an early season, and he had broke his arm, but he was looking for the next thing for him, and so his next moniker was Hollywood Berkman. And so we were like, let's film a pilot for A&E, because A&E was taking pilots. And so we followed Berkman around the arena and around the nightclub at Club Elevate. And I know I'm all over the place with this, but this is kind of like the early introduction, how I got to meet everybody. From there, we shoot the pilot. I don't know what happened. I don't think it got picked up or anything, but then we ended up sponsor, we being dogemout.com, ended up sponsoring David Castillo from Jeremy Horn's elite fight team, along with Nick Burgos and Lee Dawes. Those were the 3 guys that we were sponsoring. And we ended up, the business side of things, I'm not too I don't know the business side of things between Jeremy Horn and Dogemout, or the owner of Dogemout, but I was the host. I was the face of Dogemout. So we would host these rap battles and whatnot. And so we asked them, we were like, hey, could we do a rap battle at intermission during one of your fights at Davis County? Is not Kaysville, Davis County Convention Center, I believe it was, is where Jeremy Horn used to throw the fights. And so Jeremy was like, yeah, go ahead. All right. So we ended up hosting rap battles during intermission at the fights. And I was hosting it. This is this person. They would rap battle right there in the cage. And it was something that the city has never seen before. It was something that was like, it was just really cool, because we seen physical combat. Now we're getting verbal combat. And it was just, it was a match made in heaven. And then from there, that's where I'm introducing the rapper to the fighter, and and vice versa. And so now I'm creating a network with the fighters and creating rapport with the fighters. And that was the real introduction to me being more involved with different fighters here. It was really cool too, because it created more opportunity with Jeremy, where Jeremy, he knows everybody, right? And he had Matt Hughes and him. I don't know if they're still good friends, but Matt Hughes was always here. And one day he was at Jeremy's gym, and I got to interview Matt Hughes before his car accident, or his accident
Yeah.
with the train. And man, I don't know where that footage is at, but somewhere in the archive, somebody has these files where I'm interviewing Matt Hughes. It's pretty cool.
Unbelievable. I love the idea of the rap battles at intermission. I would love to, I don't know, maybe bring that back. You and I know I'm a massive, massive rap music fan. So I would love to see something like that. Granted, my head's spinning the entire time that we're at these shows, so it's not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even.
you wouldn't be able to enjoy it,
Yeah,
but
no.
anything like that, man, like I don't know, man. Music heals and heals with an H, heals, and I feel like mixed martial arts or martial arts in general does the same thing. So there's a lot of comparisons to each other, and I've always loved mixing the two with all my loves, right? Like I love hip hop, I love music, I love combat sports. So I get to do the best job in the world. So hopefully, Sajin and Zach don't fire me anytime soon.
No, I don't think you're going anywhere, my man. Do you have a favorite fierce fight of all time?
Favorite fierce fight, man. There's so many like that are really good. I mean, you look at Hatch's fight at UVU. I
Oh
think that's
yeah.
top five for sure. I forget the guy's name that he was fighting. Um, but that fight was just shows the dog, right? It shows the effort. It shows that it's not always gonna be sunshine and roses. We're not always gonna be able to go in there and get it done and be unscathed. Um, and it shows how tough Hatch was during that time, and he's always been a tough guy. But Hatch, that was one that sticks out to me. Another one that was early was my friend Kofi versus Josh Berkman. That was the fight that meant a lot to me because I was working with Berkman, but he's also fighting my really good friend, right? And so, and that was at UVU as well. And so I'm in the bleachers looking down, and it's just like, man, this is intense. And yeah, that was a really good fight. Kent and um, oh man, I forgot who it was that Kent fought. Oh, Vendera. Even though he didn't win, I think that was a pivotal part in Kent's way of fighting going forward. He learned a lot in that fight, I feel, and that only makes him even more dangerous fighter, right? Joe Haro, this last one with Horsley, I feel is a top five ever. Really good fight. I mean, there was some fights with Sharp. There was fights like back in the day, bro. Like at Club Elevate,
Yeah.
it was the amateurs back in the day are nothing like the amateurs now. The amateurs now look like pros, right? And these guys, but back in the day, bro, they didn't care about records. They were there. They got off of their 9 to 5 and they had a couple shots and they went to fight. And so there was a bunch of brawls that were fun to watch. But now, as an adult, I was like, man, those guys they weren't really fighting. They were just brawling. But those are some of my favorites here, locally for sure.
Do you miss that old school era of fighting, or do you prefer the new age of really guys who are so well trained up and professional borderline by the time that they're cracking the canvas?
I mean, where I am now as a spectator, as somebody that really wants us to get a world champion out of the state, absolutely right now.
Yeah.
The guys and girls that are doing it now, a few of them, you could tell that they really want this, right? Versus back in the day, it was like, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna make $90 real quick to fight somebody in a cage. You could tell that people really want this. You could see in the emotion of people. You could see that they're really hungry. So I love living in this era that we're in right now. And the scary thing about it, Blake, is that the era that we're in right now, as long as we can stay on top of it, the next era is going to be even better. So it's like, how do you top what we're already doing? You know what I mean? We have beautiful venues. We have beautiful production. We have play-by-play announcers that are amazing. We have in-ring announcer that's amazing. Like, we have fans that are great. We have people that are showing up. That's right now. So what's the next era? What's the next thing that comes after this? That's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking of.
Do you have a top 5 fighters in the state right now that either you root for or you think are maybe the guys that can fill in that future world champion gap?
Oh man, like I have a lot of them, and I won't put them in any like specific place. And I'm gonna give you more than five, I'm sure. Nakaya August is amazing, man. That girl is so young. Her striking is phenomenal. We haven't seen her on the ground just yet, but she has a very bright future. Joe Haro. Joel is, man, not only, and the cool thing about it is like a lot of the people that I name are good-hearted people that will give you the shirt off their back or help you train or whatever, like they're good people. That's another thing that I count. And some of them might be dickheads. I don't know. Uh, but Nakaya, Joel Haro, obviously Kent, Zeke, Marco, Hammond Garcia, Zach Partridge, and there's so Kofi, even though he's not fighting no more, he's just a really solid coach. I really love Ruben Rivera right now. If we're looking at younger guys that have bright futures, Ruben Rivera, oh man, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. He has a fight at FightCon. I believe he's at FightCon October 3rd.
Yep.
FightConExpo.com. He has a really bright future. Chris Ventura,
Ventura.
I believe Ventura. He's nice. Nicole Fuga. When she knocked that girl out at Masonic Temple, I don't think I've ever seen a girl get knocked out. And that was just really, really solid. Man, there's many more. And again, I told you I was gonna give you more than 5. Mike Jones is right there, man. Like Mike is Mike. I was just talking with Mike, and Mike is one of those guys where he's like a freak athlete, man. Like I feel like if you put Mike right now in a home run derby, he could probably hit some dingers right now.
I would love to see that actually.
Yeah, and I've been telling him, man. I've been putting the little sparks out there. I told Sagen, I told Zach that I would love to have an all-star weekend. I don't know where we get it in and where it's feasible, but I know that we have. Usually, Fierce, you have a couple week layoff. I think our longest week layoff is maybe about 8 weeks or 6 week layoff, or in between events. And I was thinking, man, that would be really cool if we can do like an all-star weekend. Let's see who is the fastest, who has the fastest 40, who is the strongest, who has the nicest bench, and have different competitions. Have like a dodgeball competition where we have this 5 versus this 5, just all-star weekend type of stuff where it's just different events. We take out a football field from one of the high schools and we just do a bunch of different events, have a relay race and stuff. That'd be cool.
Favorite walkout out of any fighter? I think I already know the answer, but I'm curious of your thought in terms of walkouts because you are really the guy behind the speakers, press and play, making sure that things are all fine-tuned for these fighters to have their moment.
Man, one that and there's many that are really good. Joel Haro has a solid walkout, right? Mother effers get no love. He just tells you right off the bat, like, yo, you ain't getting no love from me. I'm strong. I'm taking you out. I love Zeke's. I think Zeke coming out to Rita Marley. When I walk through the deepest valley, I will fear no one. It's literally he's taking us to church before he walks out. And there's something real spiritual to that. And if you know Rita's story, Rita was a fighter. Rita is a revolutionary, and I feel like when he comes out to that song, it's just battle and he looks solid. Kent just has such a laid back, like, just another walk in the park, I think if I was going to say one favorite, there's many, but if there was one, I'd probably say Zeke. I like Zeke's walkout.
Is the walkout one of the highlights for you? Obviously the fight is kind of the entertainment value, but is the walkout for you because you are involved in it your favorite part of the evening outside of the actual action?
Yeah, to a certain point, it is that hype. It's that hype of, man, this guy's going to war, and I'm playing the soundtrack to his battle. Yeah. That's why it's so pivotal that I have everything on point and ready to go.
Yeah, so get your music in, right?
Exactly. Which the fighters have been better at it lately. They haven't been so delayed with Zach, but yeah, man, it's really preparing these guys for battle, and I love that part. But I also, on the flip side, I love having that song ready for when they do get announced by Laporte or by Hoops that they win, and I get to play it again, right? Their victory song. In some aspects, we probably should. It'd be cool to have like a victory song ready to go too. But even like last Saturday with Pino, this dude came out to Darth Vader, and if you really look at, I'm a pro wrestling fan, so if you really look at it, like he's the what's it, Sith Lord? He's saying he's the bad guy, but he's gonna come out here and he's gonna put it on you. It's just, I don't know. It's really, really cool, and man, that song right there, that's really unique. I've never heard nobody come out to an orchestra of Darth Vader. And so I might have to put that in the category of cool
Yeah.
walkouts.
We only got a couple of minutes. I got two more questions for you. One of them being, you are so tapped into the Utah music scene. Do you have an artist that you would love to see maybe featured on a Fierce show as a walkout song? Are there any specific Utah artists that you would love to plug and see like, oh man, it'd be fun to watch, to hear this guy's music over the loudspeakers at a Fierce event?
K the Dog, he's from Rose Park, Utah. He just released a new album called Underdog. A lot of the music on there, it goes straight into combat sports. It gets you hype. There's a lot of messages in there that are like, I am an underdog and I'm gonna make it out on top, right? It parallels to combat sports so easily. Another artist is C Valente. C Valente is another great Utah artist that has a new song called Black Knight out right now that is just one of those Kendrick like hype songs. So yeah, he's great. Both of those artists are great.
Dre, you've been doing this for so long and you do such a great job at giving so many people platforms and rooting for people. And again, like I said at the beginning, I personally appreciate it. And I think so many others do. And I'm so glad to have you here. What do you want to be remembered for when it's all said and done, when you finally close your laptop for the final time? What is it that you want people to say, oh, yeah, Dre Rawka, he was that?
A great human, man. Somebody that gave it his all. Somebody that was a great father. Somebody that just tried to be in lead by example, right? There's a lot of people that will say certain things, but their actions speak otherwise. And I was never I wasn't always that person that put his money where his mouth was, right? And that's something that I try to live by today. If I really want my city to win, I got to do everything I can for my city to win. If I want this mixed martial arts fierce fighting championship promotion to win, I need to do everything I can. I had the opportunity to do the same thing that I do now for other promotions that have came up out of the state. I did not take advantage of the opportunities given. Now I am. So that I want people to look back on me as a good human, somebody that put his money where his mouth was, and just a great father and husband.
Dre, we're so lucky to have you. It's such a pleasure to talk to you a little bit as we've got a little bit of time before our next event. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you in the upcoming shows.
Make some noise.